Their big foreign concern must go. It is they who are taking all the advantage of the present position in India. About that aspect, I find that there has been no mention in the bill and there was no indication in the speech of the Honorable Minister for Commerce, Parachin. Then, lastly, I would like to say that here also the government has taken the power to appoint the chairman and is going to reconstitute the board. The same remarks which I made in connection with the chairman of the coffee board are valid here. If it is the intention of the government to break the domination of the foreign rubber growers or big rubber growers in the rubber board, I think it will be circulated to honorable member later on. Let there not be any foreign representation on the board. If the government is not prepared to accept that suggestion, then also it can take certain other minimum step. It can increase the representation of small growers. It can increase the representation of rubber. The representation of small growers has been increased by one, but the representation of labor should be increased. I do not suggest the number now. In this manner, if the government thinks that the reconstitution of the rubber board is essentially necessary in order to exercise its powers for the development of the rubber industry, then the recognition should be on proper lines, not simply by having a nominated chairman, not simply by indulging in eyewash activities. The government should do everything to check the big foreign interest and big growers. Parachin. Mr. Vice Chairman, as has been pointed out, we have a series of similar bills. Rubber is a cash crop, and therefore I think the government should be very careful to see that in fixing the price of rubber, the price of the manufactured articles is borne in mind. The honorable member who preceded me has pointed out that the rubber manufacturers are mostly foreign firms, and the figures that he has given are really staggering. It has been pointed out that during the last 10 or 12 years the profits distributed are 350%. That means the original 1 crore of rupees has been received 3.5 crores of rupees as profit. It has also been pointed out that 1 crore of rupees have been become 2 crores of rupees by means of bonus shares, and the market price of the shares of 2 crores of rupees is nearly 7 crores of rupees. That means that the original 1 crore of rupees become 10 crore of rupees in our country. The foreigners are multiplying their profits. They are expanding their industry and getting a strong hold on our economy. The honorable members of this house give protection. They want Indian industry to develop, but the advantage of this protection is taken by the foreigners. They set up factories in our country, and if at all some money is brought from outside, it multiplies tenfold. Then, sir, some attempt has been made to introduce certain elements in the present Constitution Amendment Bill, but naturally other details and further elucidation are out of the pure view of the present bill, and therefore a new bill will have to be brought forward to the extent that it is necessary for incorporating these provisions. In the meanwhile, I would assure the House that government have made arrangements and will take steps for having interim advisory bodies, etc. So far as all these areas are concerned, and then immediately in the next session, or if that were not possible in the session after the next, an attempt would be made to place before this House a bill or bills for broadly carrying out the scheme, especially the administrative scheme that I have explained to this House. There will of course be, in addition to these bodies, so far as Delhi is concerned, a Delhi Development Authority. All these are necessary because Delhi is the capital, and all attempts have to be made to make Delhi as model a city as possible. Parachute. Now the next item with which this bill deals is what is known as the safeguards for linguistic minorities. Now this would apply to all the states. So far as this is concerned, there are 2 or 3 aspects to this question. One is that we are dealing only with linguistic minorities, not only any other minorities at all, and we are generally following the line that has been laid down by the States Reorganization Commission. The States Reorganization Commission rightly pointed out that even after the reorganization of states, there would remain a large population speaking languages other than the territorial language of the particular state. Now, so far as these people are concerned, certain safeguards were considered essential. In the first place, we have to note that all the inhabitants in any part of India, state of union territory, are the citizen of India. They have a common citizenship, and the rights of common citizenship will naturally be available in all respects so far as the linguistic minorities in different parts are concerned. Parachute. but it is essential that as far as possible the interest of the linguistic minorities should be safeguarded to the extent that it is necessary. The States Reorganization Commission have pointed out in this respect that after all, these linguistic minorities are the citizens of India.